You're listening to The Balancing Act with your favorite radio personality, Nikki Marie.
Hello and welcome back to another show. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I really want to revisit my weekend. You know, on this show, we talk about our highs, lows, and lessons as it pertains to our mental health. And I did a very important thing this weekend. I took a Saturday and I did everything for myself and by myself. So no kids, no husband, no friends, just me taking myself out. And as you all know, I am the quote queen. So I found a few quotes that I wanted to read because it really defined what it means to take a break. A lot of times we talk about self-care, but we don't often know when it is time to check out and when it's time to actually provide yourself with self-care. So a few quotes that I have is self-care equals success. If you get tired, learn to rest, not to quit. Talk to yourself like you would to someone you love. The time to relax is when you don't have time for it. Self-care is how you take your power back. Be kinder to yourself and then let your kindness flood the world. Another one is to love oneself is the beginning of a lifelong romance. And that's really what I did on Saturday. I know it seems so unbelievable because as moms, we are the nurturers, and a lot of times we provide that love to our children or to our partners, and then we forget about ourselves. And that's really what happened. I just completely, and I talked about this on the last show where I was just saying how I always put others before me. I always put others before myself and my needs. But Saturday, so I left the house. I had to sneak out the house, by the way. So I escaped and I didn't look back. Usually I have some type of guilt or like feeling of guilt, or I might look back, or I'll try to convince myself that I don't need to be somewhere else but home. But really, it's just self-sabotaging my experience. So I left my house, I think it was like 2:00 in the afternoon, and I went to the Broadway Mall. I had no idea what was going to be there, but I went and I didn't expect all the stuff that they had there. They have the arcade, you can do a little shopping, they have bowling downstairs, there's just a lot of different things. So I decided to play some video games. I was in the arcade without my kids and I was playing a couple of games, and that was very relaxing and enjoyable. Not to have to worry about someone else saying, Mommy, I want to get on this one. I want to do that one. Nope. I didn't have to answer to anybody else. And that was the most satisfying experience. So after the arcade, I went upstairs thinking that I was going to just go to the food court. But for some reason, my mind said, go to the movies, go and see what's playing and just enjoy yourself. So from the arcade, went upstairs, went to the movies. I saw that Black Widow was available. Space Jam, I could have easily streamed that on HBO Max. I could have streamed Black Widow. However, it's on the premium access, so I was like, whatever. So I went and saw Black Widow. I got some nachos and some root beer. And I just went in. They had reclining seats. It was so nice just to sit in the movie theater and not have someone else asking me a bunch of questions while the movie is playing. So that was an enjoyable experience. and I fell asleep for a little while. I think I was just so exhausted that I closed my eyes for a moment, and I think I was probably sleeping for like 25-30 minutes. And then after the movies, I went to get my mani and my pedi. So I got my nails done, I got my feet done. I was just enjoying the moment. And then after, I was like, you know what? I should take myself out to dinner. Now, don't judge me, but I wasn't going to do like a full dinner because it was still kind of late. But I got some Popeyes, shout out to Popeyes. And I ate dinner by the water. Of course, I was in my car, but I was by the water. I was watching 911 on Hulu, and I had an enjoyable experience from the afternoon to the evening. Now, I left my house at 2, and I got home around maybe 10:30, close to 11. By the time I drove up to my house, my daughter was the first one to come and say, "Mommy, where were you? Where did you go? Why didn't you take me with you?" Like, just a whole investigation. It was just a whole line of questioning. I'm like, wow, am I being interrogated right now? So after that, I just said, I went out, and then they went back and they started playing in the backyard, and then I fell asleep. Like, literally, I woke up, I went out, got back home, passed out, and went to sleep. It was the most satisfying experience. And, as parents, we usually have to feel this need to be all and do all every single day. And it's really not helping us or helping our family if we're not taking care of ourselves. Like, I could walk around being a very angry person, but I have to take time to kind of replenish everything that I gave. I have to allow myself to get back the energy. Like, I don't want to be this burnt out, tired, not even 70 years old type. No offense to my older listeners out there, but you know what I'm saying. Like, I just don't want to be in a situation where I am burnt out, because I'm still young. I still have so much energy. I'm still a vibrant person, but I don't want to give it all to my kids and to my family and have nothing for myself. So I have some inspirational self-care quotes. I hope this will help people that are listening right now. So don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive, and then go and do that. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive. There are days I drop words of comfort on myself like falling leaves, and remember that it is enough to be taken care of by myself. With every act of self-care, your authentic self gets stronger, and the critical, fearful minds get weaker. Every act of self-care is a powerful declaration. I am on my side. I am on my side. Each day, I am more and more on my own side. And it's really putting yourself before others. It's okay. Like, I have to really tell myself this a lot. I'm like, Nikki, it's okay to put yourself first. It's okay not to do this task today. Like, I was at work today, and there was a project. Now, the project isn't due until next month, but me being who I am, I like to make sure that things are done before the deadline. So I will be so hard on myself to get it done, and I have to get it done all in one day. But the job may be too big that I can't do it all on one day. And it's okay to say that I can't do something right now in the moment. I know that I can do it, I just shouldn't put that much pressure on myself to get it done in that one day. Because realistically, if you have this span of time to get it done, just make sure that you're getting it done piece by piece. It's almost like a house. Homes are not built all in one day. If the foundation is there, they put it on brick by brick. It takes time to build that house. And like the words we tell ourselves, what exactly are we telling ourselves that is making us doubt ourselves, or that's making us be more harder on ourselves than we really have to be? This other one that I love is by Maya Angelou, and it says, as you grow older, you will discover that you have two hands, one for helping yourself and the other for helping others. And it's all about having the ability to do both, but knowing when it's your time to take your time, because time is something that we never get back. Another quote that I love is, there's only one corner of the universe you can be certain of improving, and that's your own self. This one I love as well. When you recover or discover something that nourishes your soul and brings joy, care enough about yourself to make room for it in your life. The first thing you're making room for is yourself. You have to make room for yourself. It was my friend Debbie who told me that you have to be able to balance with being happy, just being happy, without putting so much pressure on what that really is, what that really feels like. Just be happy. Be happy doing nothing. This other quote I love, there's actually two more. This one says, caring for your body, mind, and spirit is your greatest and grandest responsibility. It's about listening to the needs of your soul and then honoring them. Nourishing yourself in a way that helps you blossom in the direction you want to go is attainable, and you are worth the effort. A lot of times we may not feel like we are worth the effort because we're just doing and doing and doing and doing. And I remember my guest, Leah Simone, we talked about how the beginning of the pandemic, when everything was shutting down, of course, everyone was fearful. Everyone was afraid of something. But it took us that time to reset and find value in just the little things, to find value in the things that we could no longer do. And I was happy just being able to rest and being able to find what brings me peace. And that was cooking. Then it was writing. Then it was singing. Then it was podcasting. Then it was like so many different things that I found so helpful to bring me along to the next chapter in life of being creative, a creative soul. Now, if you can't find certain things that will help you with self-care, I think you just have to really take a moment, as I did on Saturday, and just really sit with yourself and maybe ask those questions that you probably wouldn't have asked, or someone wouldn't have asked you. So you should say, maybe, what do I want to do today? And it's okay if the answer is nothing, because there is something about doing nothing that is also powerful. And then you'll find your strength in whatever it is that you find yourself doing in small ways. I never found myself to be a Scrabble player, but recently I downloaded the app and I started playing Scrabble. I also started playing Uno on my phone. So even though sometimes we talk about these devices, they kind of sort of help a little bit. But there's also some other quotes that might be helpful. And obviously we know that self-care is mental health. And if you're serious about your discovery and recovery, maybe jot things down and figure out what the best solutions are, or maybe what the best quotes are that can help you with your self-discovery and recovery. So a quote from Steve Austin is, "For me, recovery and self-care are connected. My recovery from abuse, addiction, and a suicide attempt required dump truck loads of self-care." I've spoken to you all about my challenges, and if I don't provide myself with something, then I'm giving myself nothing. The time that I needed before the burnout, you never want to get to the red zone when you're at the breaking end that you feel that there's no coming back from. You don't want to get there. Another quote is, "It's common to reject or punish yourself when you've been rejected by others. When you experience disappointment from the way your family or others treat you, it's the time to take special care of yourself. So, what are you doing to nurture yourself? What are you doing to protect yourself? Find a healthy way to express your pain." And for me, that was checking out. Saturday was my check out. A lot of times when we say or hear someone say check out, they're thinking of the worst case scenario. But it's really just taking a break. Go to the museum, go for a walk, find something that is just amazingly beautiful. There's so much beauty around us, but I think when we get into a place of discomfort or anger or regret or sadness, sometimes we don't realize, wow, the wind is blowing. It feels amazing on my skin. There's water underneath my feet if you go to the beach or you're playing in the sand or whatever it is. There's beauty in everything around us. Like even the stray cat that runs across my street. It's amazing that he has so much fear in him that I'm going to do something that he runs away. But then when I leave food for him outside, he comes back. But then when he sees me again, then he runs away. So it's really just a cat and mouse game. But then it's so beautiful because he is beautiful. You know, he's an amazing looking cat. I don't have cats. I have a dog. But, you know, sometimes animals are just like the best friends. The ones that you can tell all your secrets to that won't share them. And that's how I feel about my dog, Hobie. She's amazing. And when I feel down sometimes, I give her a little hug. Or maybe an extra hug. And then she'll lick my face and that's it. I'm like, all right, I'm done with you now. Now here's one. Self-care is so much more than a beauty regimen or an external thing you do. It has to start within your heart to know what you need to navigate your life. A pedicure doesn't last, but meditating every day does. I feel like that was a little shade. A pedicure doesn't last. Look, I still got a mani and pedi. I think it was just a moment because it was something that I wanted to do for myself. So self-care doesn't necessarily have to be you go and get your hair done or you go to the spa. It could be anything that you feel is valuable to your space, for you to get space and reset or unwind. But it does have to be a continuous thing. Self-care is taking all the pressures you are facing right now and deciding to which you will respond and how. How we care for ourselves gives our brain messages that shape our self-worth. So we must care for ourselves in every way, every day. With every act of self-care, your authentic self gets stronger. And again, the critical, fearful mind gets weaker. Every act of self-care is a powerful declaration. Again, I am on my side. And you have to say that too, that you are on your side. It's about you and your self-care and how you heal. So if we don't take care of ourselves, if we don't put on the oxygen mask first, we don't have the capacity to help those people who care so much, that we care so much about. So when you're on an airplane, they always say to put the mask on yourself, and then you can help the person. Because if something happens to you and you're not able to help yourself, how are you going to help somebody else? Practice self-rescue first before you help someone else. And I think these quotes are just phenomenal. And I found these quotes on foolsandfairies.com/self-care-quotes. And you can find them all there. Now, of course, we talk about highs, lows, and lessons, right? The highs would be just finally taking a moment to be by myself. That would be the high. The low would be not doing it enough or not doing it every day. Some people will say, oh, you're being too hard on yourself because you don't have to do self-care every day. But actually, I do. I personally have to take an hour every single day to allow myself a break, to allow myself to do something that I need to do for myself. Only because I know myself and I know that I do a lot on a daily basis. And if I don't remove myself at least an hour, I am no good to anybody else. So again, find what you need for you and your self-care and your healing and your moment out, your time out, because we're all different. So the lesson is do more of what makes you mentally okay. That makes you mentally healthy, spiritually healthy, and whatever else, mentally, physically, emotionally, all of that. And that's why I have to make a declaration to myself to do more, to allow myself the opportunity to do more for myself. So thank you so much all for listening. I hope you enjoyed today's show. I hope you enjoyed the quotes for today. You can follow me on all social media platforms at NikkiMarie_radio. Tune in next week, same time, same place. You know what it is. Don't forget to love each other, but more importantly, love yourself.
It's a feeling that I just can't shake. Ain't a person that can take my place. Happy just to be alone all day. Antisocial, gotta isolate. Turning my phone off, changing my number, I'm changing my name. I got a burner, use it for niggas who try to run game. That's how I'm living, and I don't mind, babe. Cause I ain't got no problems, babe. I ain't got no problems, babe. So much better when I'm by myself. So much better, I don't need no help. I feel so much better when I'm all alone. So much better when I ain't worried about you. You've been trying to fall in love with me, but we both know I ain't the one to be caught up. It's true. You ain't the one, don't need the one. I found the one, I am the one. This is self-love, shit. And I don't need no other love. So quit. I'm known to cut a nigga off. Quit. I do what I want, don't need permission, I don't need to call. On a sabbatical, don't wanna talk right now.